Yo, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of HeroTalk, the mostly weekly podcast from Rooter Hero Plumbing and Air. I'm David, one of the hosts, and with me is
Cat.
And together we're on the attack. That was good.
Yeah. I always forget that we say the "and together." I thought it's just "and we're on the attack." It says together.
I mean,
It's whatever.
it is what it is. It's the same thing. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need some WD-40 for my chair.
Both of them.
Yeah. On that, now that I'm trying, it's not doing it. Okay.
Or maybe it was just mine then. Yeah.
Could be, yeah. All right. So, as we said, we're back. We're on the attack. But before we get into the brutality, what's up?
What's up?
What is up?
So before this, guys, David and I had a whole conversation about how much caffeine he intakes in a day. It's currently 9 a.m. and he's on his, was this your third or fourth? Third.
Third,
He's on
technically.
his third cup of coffee already.
But my first cup this morning was large.
So like 3.5, almost 4.
Yeah.
And then
Product placement. This is a Wired X344.
sponsor David.
If I survive. Which has 344 milligrams of caffeine. Which to me isn't a lot.
And to me, that's insane.
For reference, the Panera Charged Lemonade, which allegedly has killed people, has, without ice, 390 milligrams of caffeine.
Yeah, so imagine it allegedly killing people.
Allegedly.
And then adding 4 cups of coffee with it. Oh, and he's not done drinking his coffee. Like, it's barely 9 a.m., guys.
It's 9 o'clock. I'm not anywhere near done.
So, like, how many more cups of coffee will you have today?
I don't know. Depends on many factors. So, but this is not medical advice. And to be fair, one of the people that allegedly died had like 3 of them.
We did some research.
Yeah, and like with ice, those have 290. All right, which is less than like a bang. Okay. All right. So, for reference, a Monster energy drink has around 170 milligrams of caffeine. Caffeine is caffeine, man. It wakes you up.
It's just crazy to me.
It doesn't even wake you up. What it does, it blocks the receptors that make your brain feel tired.
Interesting.
So, it doesn't give you energy. That energy was there. It was just being blocked by your brain. And you should be able to tell your brain how to work through substances that are legal, like caffeine. Yeah.
Again, this is not advice, guys.
No.
This is just, we're sharing.
Yeah. I don't think caffeine is a bad thing. It's a nootropic. Yeah. And
so take that as you will, guys.
Yeah. I think everybody should be a little Wired X.
Or caffeinated CX over here.
That's true, I gotta stay on brand.
Yeah.
So.
He's very much so on brand, guys.
Yes.
But other than caffeinated out. How are you?
Yeah, calm, collected. I had a easy mellow. How about you?
Considering you have that much caffeine is crazy.
Yeah, you're acting a little bit more caffeinated than I am.
Yeah, and I don't even drink caffeine.
What's that like?
Calm, mellow.
So it's the same. Okay.
So it's the same.
Yeah, then
So
I don't see the
own.
difference.
Yeah, you're right.
All I know is that I have some tasty beverages here, and you don't.
I know. I only drink water, guys. It's pretty weird.
You want some?
I'm good. I'd be like bouncing off the walls. I'm
Sure.
already like this. Just water.
Yeah.
Imagine?
No, that's weird. I can't do that. So, I don't think I get the headaches or anything if I don't have any. To be honest, I have no idea.
I was like, yeah, have you ever tried to not have any?
I mean, sometimes I prolong, but not usually because I wake up and then my first thing my wife says to me is, "Did you set the coffee last night?" And I'm usually like, "No, I'll go make it now," because I always forget that my coffee maker has a timer.
Oh.
Yep. So I need to roll that in to my nightly routine.
To your 15-minute increments.
Yeah.
So your wife's like into caffeine like you too? Or hers is not like, she doesn't intake as much as you do?
She doesn't intake as much as me, although she is small. So if she did, she'd probably be not here. But she does this. She gets at 7-Eleven, she gets a cup of ice,
Okay.
right? And she takes 2 of the little vanilla creamers,
Mm-hmm.
and then she adds 2 of the coconut Red Bulls into the ice.
So
Right.
yeah, so she's exactly... Okay. I'm following.
I haven't had it. I've heard it was delicious. So
That's crazy. Have you ever... Okay, we're getting
she's
off
a
topic.
nurse, so I'm assuming.
I know,
that
I was
she's
just gonna tell you. I was like, if she's a nurse and she
yeah,
doesn't tell you anything,
I'm
you're
assuming
fine.
she knows what she's doing.
Yeah.
Although she usually calls a bag of popcorn a meal. So
My friend's a nurse and she says that nurses are the worst patients.
yeah.
So,
Yeah.
alright, well,
It is what it is, What are you gonna do?
what are you gonna
So-
do? You gotta live your life. Whatever makes you
It's
happy, guys.
It's like when you see doctors chain smoking. Like, you know what that does, bro.
Yeah.
Maybe it does nothing. I don't know, because I've seen plenty of people in their 80s, 90s, even hundreds chain smoking and eating bacon butter for breakfast.
My eating habits are terrible. But we won't get into that.
Like, you don't like bacon butter? It's
Probably.
basically bacon with butter on it.
Oh.
Yeah. And
Probably.
you know what? Longevity.
I'd probably eat
Longevity comes from that, from what I've witnessed. It's the people that eat like birds and have oatmeal every day. They're the ones that kick the bucket sooner.
Well, good thing I don't eat like that.
Yeah. I can't eat oatmeal, so.
The texture, right?
No, I break out if I have oatmeal.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, which is sad because I love oatmeal.
It's too mushy for me.
You gotta make it right.
Not sure. And we eat a whole bowl of mashed potatoes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or, as some people call it, Irish guacamole.
What's that?
Mashed potatoes.
Really? I've never heard of it called like that.
Yeah, well, you should be online more.
You would think I am with my job.
It is what it is, Just different algorithms for different people.
True.
That's all it is.
Very
So,
true.
I don't know.
So, David, what are we talking about today? Aside from our
I was just happy talking about this.
Or could be. All right, guys, that's the episode.
Yeah. No, I got more. I got more. No, I think today, because of what we talked about last time, was something similar as a follow-up, right? Oh, yes. Yes.
Do you remember?
Yeah, I remember. The question of what is more important, customer experience or the customer's experience? Because they are different things.
Yeah.
Different things. And you told me that you did some research.
I sure did.
Let's dive straight in to your research.
All right, guys. Let's start off by defining these terms.
Okay.
Okay? Customer experience refers to the overall impression a customer has of a brand, shaped by every interaction and touch point. Okay? While the other hand, the customer's experience emphasizes the individual subjective encounters and perceptions of each customer. So it's like their personal experience versus the overall.
Right. So, customer experience can really be categorized as metrics, right? As KPIs, as stats, right? And you can gamify it within your internal company, right? What is your CSAT score? What is your NPS? What is your customer effort score? So on and so forth, right? And everywhere you go now, you're asked to take a survey. Everywhere, for everything.
You really are.
Someone posted a screenshot on LinkedIn the other day of getting a CSAT survey or customer satisfaction survey when they paid a bill online. She was like, I don't know how to respond to this.
I'd rather
It's
not
like-
pay.
It's like, yeah, I'd put frowny face.
Yeah.
I mean, I have to pay this. And it was like some ridiculous charge, like $7. Right? It's like, it worked. What do you want? It took my payment.
Yeah.
It's happy face. I don't know. I don't know, bro. I don't know. So things are getting a little bit ridiculous out there with the surveys, and honestly, surveys they're important, right? But they're not very reliable or accurate. So, because there's only really two types of people that take surveys: people that are really, really mad, or people who really like taking surveys.
Or there's also those like outliers, like when like you're in a rush and you're just like whatever, just click
Oh
whatever.
yeah.
There's also those people and that like
That can't figure out the skip
Changes.
button. Yeah.
changes everything.
Yeah, like when you're checking out at the grocery store and there's a survey before you can pay.
They do that at Five Below.
I know.
It says were you greeted today, and it's like 1 through 10, and it's like what?
Different degrees of greeting.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, I don't expect to be greeted when I go into a store. Because, I'm going into a store.
That's true.
They know I'm there. It's fine.
The Five Below one, I do participate though, because I think that they like donate to something. Like if you.
That's a tax write-off. But,
That's true.
yeah, it is what it is.
Still
I don't know if they do or not. I used to go to Five Below all the time. But I'd also mix it up with, like, Big Five. Because, like, why do they both have 5 in the title? Are they related?
They're like completely different.
And the fact that, like, Five Below, nothing is below 5 anymore.
Yeah.
Hardly anything is 5.
True. I go there for my dog beds because my dog needs a bed like every month. And they're $5.55.
It's not 5 Below, is it?
Nope. It's 5 above.
Yep. It's like when the 99-cent only store, right? Which is literally the name of it, 99-cent only, raised their prices, and now they have things that are like $50.
Yeah.
So you gotta change the name.
Yeah.
If you're gonna change your entire business model, change your branding too, because I expect to be able to go in there with $1 and buy at least something.
That's like nowhere anymore.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, man. It's weird, but yes. Now, when you break customer experience down to those metrics, and you can add a whole slew of other ones in there too, like repeat customer rate, right? Customer loyalty, things like that. You get a pretty decent picture of how your CX program is doing, right? Usually there's a rise in revenue if you're doing really well because of referrals and things like that, right? And repeat customers. But more importantly is the customer's experience during the entire process, right? The customer's experience in the customer experience. So, and how do you tell this? Well, the easiest thing to do, realistically, and in reality, but maybe the hardest thing to do for companies, is to ask them while they're in the experience.
Yeah, to check in between.
Yeah, not just save it for the end with a survey or a happy call, right?
Yeah.
But see how everything's going within the process, and if something's messing up, fix it, right? If there's a kink in the armor, right? If there's a negative aspect to any of the steps along the way, you can fix the experience in the experience, and then you'll have a better experience for the customer within their customer experience. Yes.
There you go. That's the episode, guys.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, that's what it is. And
even like when you like take a customer service call, like when they're calling in, for example, to book, like at the end of that you can like ask, oh, did I help you with everything you needed? Like right before you end the call, just make sure that they're completely satisfied, and then you move on to the next one, and then the technician should do the same thing, and then so on and so forth.
Yeah. And when you ask that question in a customer service call, make sure you actually did before you ask the question, right? Because otherwise, it gets awkward really fast.
Or right then and there you correct the issue and you say, okay, well, how can I fix that for you?
So there is a I don't know how to put this into words. Yes, I do. So there's a thing in the contact center sphere and other spheres too, where it's called first call resolution, right? So everything that the customer needs help with is done on the first call. You don't have to transfer to another place to like have them make a payment, or let's say it's telecom or cable company, internet company. You should be able to do any upgrades they want right there without having to send them over to a sales department, stuff like that, right?
What about putting them on hold? Does that count?
To the best of your ability, never put anyone on hold. That is, sometimes it's unavoidable, right? Especially for newer hires and stuff that have questions, right? They're not going to have the product knowledge or the service knowledge that someone who's been there for 3 weeks has.
Yeah.
Because honestly, they should have top tier product knowledge within 3 weeks of being out of training, right? If you don't, then your training failed and your residual trainings and coachings have failed. So they should know every aspect of the business other than maybe the financials, right? But any service or product that the company provides, they should know from soup to nuts how it works. So if that was loud.
Yeah.
And if they don't, somewhere along the employee experience and the employee training and onboarding failed. So don't do that. Fix that. And then I would have regular quizzes or knowledge bombs and stuff like that. Always make sure that you have a knowledge base, right? All the Q&As are, or the frequently asked questions are somewhere accessible, and not just for the employees, but have it on your website as well.
Oh, okay.
Right. So, and if you're in an industry that allows it, have some prices on your website too. So, nothing sours an experience more than being like, well, how much is this? I don't know. Let's find out.
Yeah.
It's like, all right. And I know in some industries, like let's say plumbing, right, where until you actually lay eyes on it and do some testing and everything else, you don't know exactly what's going on. Doesn't matter how many years of experience you have,
Yeah.
right? You can't diagnose over the phone. It's like you know how doctors can't diagnose really over the phone. It's like you can't call a doctor and be like, hey, yeah, I have the sniffles, right?
What's wrong with me?
It's like, what do I have? Well, you either have a cold or you have cancer. That'll be $600. So, no, you can't do it. So, but if you're in an industry that can, right, or if you have standardized pricing, like let's say you have inspections or water heater flushes, things like that, you can advertise those prices on the website. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
It makes for a better customer experience. They know what they're getting.
True.
So, and it makes it really easy for the person on the phone to provide a better customer service experience when they're asked a question like, hey, how much do you charge for a water heater flush? And they're like, X dollars.
Yeah.
Right?
Like right up front.
Yeah, it's easy. And it should be a thing. So, it's not at most places. So, is what it is.
But it's also like what you said though, because what if they're calling in for a water heater flush and they need something completely different?
Exactly.
And they were quoted one thing.
Yeah, exactly. So there's some playing to be done with it. There's some finessing. There's some explanations that go into it. If it is this exact thing, it is going to be this much. If it is anything else, or if something else is causing the symptoms, the service technician will go over that with you at the time of service. Right? So, stuff like that. It's cool. So, I don't know. It's, what matters though, at the end of the day, is the customer's experience with your company. How pleasant it was to do business with you. How easy it was to do business with you. Right? Would this person, given all the knowledge they have and their experience, recommend the company to their friends, family, coworkers, and community? That's what matters at the end of the day. Stats and survey results, they can paint a picture, they can tell a story, but it might not be reality. So, because I've dealt with companies that had like 1.5 stars on Yelp, right? Which most people would just look at that and be like,
Not going
yeah.
there.
But, happenstance, I didn't look at their reviews until after, right? But it was one of the best customer experience I've ever had as a customer.
Wow.
So, and that might be them trying to fix what the Yelp reviews were about. Or it could be because, like I said at the beginning, there are two kinds of people that do surveys and two kinds of people that do reviews. All right? Just really, really mad people or people that just like doing them. So you're not going to get the average sentiment of a company from a review site or survey results. So it's like how normally companies have 1-star or 5-star reviews. There ain't much in the middle. So you can see that. Sometimes there's 4, right? But like 2 and 3, no.
You only get like that when it takes the average.
Yeah. But most people do not leave 2-star or 3-star reviews. Because honestly, 3 stars is what, average? It's nothing to write home about with average, right? Hey, how was your experience? Yeah, it was okay. 3 stars. I'm going to write them a review. 3 stars. You guys didn't make me mad.
Thanks.
So, yeah, it's crazy. Speaking of, you know that place, I think it's over in Van Nuys, it's called OK Chinese.
You've told me about this, yeah.
Yeah. They have 3 stars on Yelp.
And
it's okay.
literally called OK Chinese.
Yeah, it's okay. So, it's giant portions though. The thing is, giant portions of okay food is just like,
it's just okay.
so you could cut these in half and it would probably be better. It is what it is. But yeah, always monitor the experience within the customer's experience. And you do this by talking to the customer.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to wait for the customer to call in to see how they're doing, right? You don't have to wait until everything's finished and you have someone give them a call or you send them a survey through text or email afterwards and be like, hey, how was it? Because we don't know.
Yeah.
It's just bad taste. And for companies out there, limit the amount of surveys that you have. It is getting really annoying and it is getting really ridiculous. It is good to know, it is good to find out how your customers feel about your company and your brand. I will never say that's not important. There are other ways of finding out. Like, let's take a grocery store for an example, right? What is more beneficial or to the company's knowledge, right? Filling out a survey at checkout, or because every grocery store now has a loyalty number, even in the ones that don't have a discount for it. I don't know, bro. They can use that and they can track how many times you go shopping. And since all grocery stores are pretty much owned by the same giant corporations and private equity, they can see how many times they go to this store versus the other one, right? And what are they purchasing at these stores? Mm-hmm. If one person goes to the grocery store twice a week, right? They go here and they buy meat, vegetables, and wine at this store, but they go to this store to buy pasta, mac and cheese, and candy, right? Why? Figure that out.
One store is probably cheaper for produce.
Yeah, most likely. Or they have a better selection of produce. Or the people in their produce department are a lot friendlier than the other one. Because let's face it, all grocery stores pretty much sell the same stuff. Mm-hmm. And they get them from the same suppliers.
The only reason I would do that is for price-wise.
Yeah. Although, have you ever walked into a place and, like, there's actually employees?
Oh, yeah.
Which is bizarre, by the way. There's, like, registers open. There's people working in the little departments, right?
Yeah.
That's nice.
Lately it's been Target, but, like, the employees that you see, they don't even, like, help you because they're only there because they're doing orders.
Yeah. Funny thing, Target, allegedly Target. It was a one that I don't usually go to because they're like Starbucks now. They're everywhere.
Yeah, they really are everywhere.
And we'll see how long that lasts. And the thing is, like, I didn't know where the cat food was at this particular Target because they're all different for some reason, right? And I went to one person that was like stocking a shelf, and I was like, "Hey, where's the cat food?" And then he had this little like handheld thing, and then he looked down at it, and then he looked back up at me. He looked back down at it, and then he went back to stocking shelves. I was like, "Oh, okay, I'll find it." bye.
Yeah.
That was weird.
And that's what I mean. Like yesterday, I went to Target and I needed a face lotion, but again, it was the Target I don't really go to. But they said it was in stock at that one, so that's the one I went to. And the guy is like, you could tell he's doing a mobile order because you would hear like the ding ding, like the Target sound. And you could tell, like, I'm literally going up and down this aisle. You could tell I'm looking for something. And, like, no acknowledgement, no, oh, are you looking for something? Do you need help with something? So that's why I'm like, yeah, there's employees, but I don't know how helpful they really are.
That's true. No, I will say, because this goes right into customers' experience, there's a grocery store called Stater Brothers, right?
They're all far from us, huh?
There's one where I live. So yes, far from here, not that far, but not down the street from here, right? And they're one of the ones that still have registers open. They literally just put in self-checkout like a couple months ago.
Oh, wow.
Right. So, which, yeah, if I have one or two items, self-checkout's the way to go. If I have more than that, I'm not doing your job.
No.
Ringing my groceries. All right. So, and put it in a bag for me. Sorry. I pay enough. Okay. But there are people in the produce section that are like literally cutting up fruits and vegetables and putting them in containers to sell.
Oh, no way.
And then if they, like, because this happened to me because like new there, and I usually go to like Ralph's or Albertsons or Target, and I was walking up and down the aisles because I didn't find something, and like two people asked me, and the first person was like, hey, you finding everything okay? And I was like, yeah. Then the second person, because a few minutes later I was still looking for it, it's a personality flaw, and I was like, yeah, I'm looking for X. And they were like, oh yeah, I know exactly where that is, come with me. And they
walk you.
And I was like, I haven't seen that since like the early 2000s.
Yeah.
They fixed the experience within the experience, and I got what I needed. A little expensive, but I got what I needed, and I can't even remember what it was, but I just remember it happening, right? So that was really cool to see, and I wish that more companies would start doing that again, and actually having a good experience for the customers rather than just worrying about surveys.
Yeah, you wouldn't need the surveys if you know you're just doing your job right.
Exactly. Here's a quote that let me see if I can find it. I got it. All right. So in 2021, which was a while ago, I will say.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah, like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
My post was, this is on Facebook. I don't know why I was posting about this on Facebook, right? Because this is usually LinkedIn stuff where I reposted it today. There's nothing more damaging to customer service than endless phone tree IVRs, long hold times, dumb AIs, and CSRs that don't know local vernacular. What I'm saying is automate what you can, but don't do it to the detriment of the customer. Then someone, Mike, not his real name, but that's what he goes by on Facebook, says, I mean, yeah, but we both know it's intentional. And I said, I know. And then he said, I'll never understand profit over being good. It's a sickness. Being good is also good for profit. So
shout out to Mike.
Yeah. So shout out to Mike. And absolutely correct. You don't need all the bells and whistles or the latest surveys or whatever the CMO says that you should have, right? Chief marketing officers are not customer experience gurus. They're marketing gurus. And I know that CX and marketing have a lot in common, and they're both on the same mission, but whoever it is in the company that's pushing all these surveys, stop. Just go back to the basics and go back to being good and helpful and kind and develop soft skills among the people who are the most customer facing.
True.
You get that right, you get everything else right. Everything else will fall into line. You do good, you'll do good. I don't know. I can't put it any other way.
No, that's true. And just make sure you check in along the way. That's like
Yep.
the biggest thing that could
Yep,
give you guys that step up.
without being annoying with it.
Yeah.
Don't ask after every single touch point, right? Ask near the beginning, near the middle, and then after. You're good. So don't be like, hey, how was that? Hey, did you see what I just did there?
Yeah.
How'd you like it? Yeah, no, don't do that.
And you don't have to like ask, but just have that communication in between also. Like
Exactly. Have an open dialogue.
Yeah.
So-
Exactly.
Yeah. So, you want to talk about the fee?
So guys, if you guys got anything out of this video, or if you're listening on Spotify or wherever you listen to podcasts, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up, share it with anyone you know, and let's make the show grow.
There we go.
Bye guys.
Bye.